Hey guys, looks like it's beer 30. Let's go see what's in the fridge today.
Hey everybody, thanks for stopping by Gregsbeerreviews today. Look at this great big monster bottle. This is from the Bruery. They're out of Placentia, California. This is their mash and vanilla. And what this is according to the bottle here, and this is a great big 750 milliliter bottle that Rico sent me. It says here mash and vanilla barley wine style ale aged in bourbon barrels with vanilla added. We took our classic release, already oaky, sticky, and sweet, from extensive bourbon barrel aging and amplified that barrel character with the addition of vanilla. This is a 13.3%er, guys. This is drunk in a bottle. If you drink all this, you are going to be shit-faced. No freaking doubt about it, guys. This is a bottle to share. Most definitely. If not with you and a significant other, several people, and pour them a little bit of each one. 13.3%. 3 beers and 1 glass. This is a big boy's beer. This is not for the faint of heart. This will put you in the hammer lane. Do not, I repeat, do not try to drink this at a bar or a brew pub without a designated driver. If you drink this out and you try to drive home, you get what you deserve. And hopefully you'll make it home and you won't have an accident. You won't get arrested and DUI, and you won't crash and hurt somebody. This is the style of beer and the magnitude of a beer that you definitely need to drink at home or have a designated driver. And if you drink this out, you're going to be staggering around. No doubt about it in my mind. This is a monster beer. Godzilla of a beer. And these guys do those beers fairly well. They do a lot of different beers, and they do a lot of sours and other things. And most of them, they put in these great big monster bottles and charge you an arm and a leg. Rico sent me a note with this one saying, Brewery Mash Vanilla, said he bought it last week and it was $24. Very pricey beer, but it's a 13.3% a bourbon barrel aged beer with vanilla added. So you got to take all of that into accord there when you're purchasing this or even buying it or drinking it. If you was to buy this out at a bar, you might get this much. You might get a 4-ounce pour, because they're not going to pour you a 13.3% in a 16-ounce pint glass. That would be able to cost you $10 or $12 for that one glass. So when you buy this big of a beer somewhere out, you're going to get a small pour, no doubt about it. You do around here. Now, I don't know how it is all over the other places, but here in Virginia, if they had this on tap, you would get a very small pour, because they don't want you to get drunk off of one glass. And that's what would happen if you poured a 16-ounce glass of this. You would have your buzz going on, no doubt about it. Bottled on 7/13/16. Today is the 8th of February 2017, so 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, not quite 7 months old. And barley wine aged bourbon barrels with vanilla added. I've already told you that. So, commercial description here, probably pretty close to what I read off the bottle. Yep, classic bourbon barrel barley wine ale. Kicked up a notch. We took the mash, already oaky, sticky, and sweet, amplified it with the vanilla added. The vanilla prominence is complemented by the woody bourbon barrel flavors and coconut notes that are imparted into the beer as part of its extensive marathon in oak bourbon barrels. Mashed vanilla is best enjoyed fresh to experience the vanilla flavors at peak strength. And by fresh, I don't know what they're meaning by that. 1 month, 2 months, 6 months. or what. It doesn't have anything, as far as I can tell, that's going to fade over time. There's no coffee, and it's not a hoppy beer. So I don't know. They're saying drinking it fresh, and it's a 13.3%er. I don't know how long you could cellar this without losing something, whether it's the vanilla or whatever. So just be aware you're drinking a monster beer, 13.3%. If you buy this, you're looking at pretty close to $25 for one bottle. Not a lot of people are going to spring for that unless they're seasoned craft beer drinkers and they're looking for something like this. The average guy is probably not going to do this, especially a newbie. Somebody's just getting into craft beer and they look at that and they say $25. Yeah, they're going to put it back up on the shelf because they're scared. You got to appreciate when these breweries do this magnitude of a beer, and it's been in bourbon barrels and it's been tampered with after it comes out of the bourbon barrels by adding vanilla to it. So maybe the vanilla will fade over time, I'm not exactly sure. And even being in bourbon barrels, you're going to get some hints of vanilla from the barrels. So let's see what this one brings to the table. Alright, I've read you that. IBUs, it says here on Rate Beer, is 26. So that's all we need to talk about here. So let me go over here, and while I try to get the foil, it's got like a wine thing here with a little tab, so hopefully that'll all come off in one piece. Well, that did anyway. Yeah, that part of it on there is stuck down on the cap very well. So I'm not going to try to get it off unless I can't get my opener underneath of it. So let's try it and see what we got. I got a little bit of hiss, but I was able to get it off. Big bottle. Great big bottle. That's why it's $25. I mean, there's a lot of people, they pick up a bottle of wine like this and not think twice about paying $25 for it. And it's not going to be no 13%er usually. Well, sometimes they are, but... Alright, let's get it into the glass, and when I put it in there, I'll say the cheeses, the sharp blue cheddar, your pungent cheeses, Gorgonzola, Limburger, and it's a digestive beer. That means you can have it either before dinner, during dinner, or after dinner. And that's about all I'm going to be able to get in there. Hey, poured a nice head, glassware to pint back a nonic tumbler, snifter. I got my favorite snifter, about a finger of head on that pour. Oversized wine glass, and it says here can be cellared. But they're telling me here they want you to drink it fresh. I'm not sure if I agree with that, unless something's going to fade over time. Over to the light, it looks a lot like a barley wine. It's got a deep mahogany color, a little bit of light through the thin part down here, kind of murky brown mahogany. I'm not getting any through here. It's very, very brown, reddish color. Let's get a nose on it. Definitely getting the vanilla. Hints of the bourbon barrel, some woodiness there, some oakiness. It does smell a lot like a barley wine. Big sweetness on the back end. Nice bourbon notes. Very nice bourbon notes. Awesome smelling beer. A great beer for the final beer of the evening, which it is for me. Don't think I could take anything more than a 13.3%. Even if I did try to review another one after this, I would probably be a little on the shit-face side. So we're going to wrap it up with this one tonight. Wonderful aroma. Love the bourbon and the vanilla. Excellent. Very nice. Well, and the head is subsided down to about a quarter finger of head on it now. And I can see a lot of bubbles reinforcing that on the outside. I can't see them coming up through the center of the glass because it's kind of dark and murky, but it is. I can see the bubbles reinforcing the outside of it though. Smells awesome. Cheers, everybody. Cheers, Rico. Wow. Big bourbon. Big bourbon notes. Big vanilla notes. More so than you would averagely get from a bourbon barrel. Now, a lot of times you will get a little bit of hints of vanilla from the oak barrels and stuff, and some coconut. I'm definitely getting some coconut. Now, somebody's just getting into this style of beer, this magnitude of a beer. This may be a little overpowering. But for a seasoned craft beer drinker that drinks this style of beer and has done the bourbon barrel stuff, you're going to love this. You're really going to love this. Wow. That is awesome. That is so delicious. Wow. This is a sipper, guys. This is definitely a sipper. And that's what I'm going to do. We're going to pour her a glass. And I'm going to sip on this probably about 35-45 minutes or so. Might go up and fire out on the jack and fire up a Maduro wrap cigar to go with this. Wow. That's awesome. That is really awesome. And definitely more than a full glass left here for her. So we'll get her glass topped off and probably top mine off and go out and sip on this for about 45 minutes or so. We'll see what happens after it warms up a little bit and see if we're getting anything more out of it. But right now, pretty damn outstanding. Ought to be. For $25 a bottle, it ought to blow your hair off. It ought to blow your socks off. Might even take you back in the back room and give you oral sex. What do you think about that? Yeah, that's what she said. Alright guys, I'll be right back. Alright guys, I'm back. Been sitting on about 35-40 minutes or so. Very tasty. Awesomely well-made beer for a 13.3%er. The other half of this bottle that we poured in her glass was very cloudy and murky. Much more so than mine. A lot of sediment in the bottom of this beer. Nothing's going to hurt you. Another reason why they may say drink it fresh. There's definitely been some stuff coagulating and dropping to the bottom of the bottle on this beer. So, not sure I'd want to cellar this for a long period of time, even though it's a 13.3%er. I'm not sure what's going to fade over time, whether the vanilla is or whatever, but it did have a heavy sediment in the bottom of the bottle. Hers was extremely more cloudier than what mine was. Looked like river water. It was so cloudy and murky. So, but it's a very tasty beer, guys. Very well made beer. 13.3%. The alcohol's fairly well hidden. It's hard to hide that much alcohol, but you got to realize what you're drinking. This is not Budweiser. This is not a Bud Light. This is not a 5% beer. This is a Monster 13.3%. Big time, big boy beer. Just realize that if you're drinking this, whether at home or somewhere else, you got to realize what you're drinking. If you can go out and drink 5 or 10 Budweisers, you're not going to be able to drink 5 or 10 of these. Plus, it would cost you a small fortune if you were drinking this and they actually had it on tap. I don't think they probably put this out in kegs anywhere. It's probably all done in these bottles and released in these big 750 milliliter bottles. So a nice one to have at home, where you don't have to worry about driving anywhere, and you can share it with some close friends or whatever. So very tasty beer. I did enjoy this beer. It's very, very tasty. The vanilla is off the chain. With the extra vanilla they've added to it, not besides what you're going to get off the bourbon barrels. You're going to get a little bit of vanilla and the coconut and stuff off of that. I'm getting all of that. I'm getting caramel and toffee. But the vanilla and the bourbon is standing out more than anything else. Very tasty beer. Awesome, awesome beer. A great final beer of the evening for me. So let's do the final chug on this. Big bourbon notes though. Big, big, big bourbon notes. Hints of some dark fruit. Awesome. Final chug. Oh. That is so delicious. Awesomely made beer. As far as I'm concerned, top-notch beer. And it ought to be, for a $25 bottle of beer, it's sort of blow your hair off or your socks off. It really should. If you're paying that much for a bottle of beer, even though it's a big bottle, it should be impressive. It should be impressive, and this is. This is impressive. And they've got the date etched here, and Rico put a little sticker on here, and I can actually feel it etched into the bottle. I think Cigar City does their etching like this. So sometimes it's very hard to see with the beer in the bottle, but you can see it though. Especially once the beer has left the bottle, you can see that etching on the bottle. Sometimes it's very hard to see, especially if they've got this in a cooler somewhere and it's chilled, and you're trying to see it with a dark beer in it. Very hard to read sometimes. So, great beer, guys. As far as I'm concerned, I'm on the fence between a 9 and a 10 on this beer. It's got the date on it. It's got the ABV on it. Doesn't have the IBUs, but we do know what the IBUs are on this beer. Like I said, I'm on the fence between a 9 and a 10, and I don't think there's any reason why I should not give this beer a 10. The vanilla is super there. It is not hidden. The bourbon notes are there. The dark fruit are there. Hints of toffee and caramel, maybe even some hints of tobacco in there. Not getting a large coffee notes or anything like that, and not getting a lot of chocolate or anything like that in it. But the vanilla and the bourbon and the dark fruit are there, guys. It is very nice. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and give it to 10, guys. I am going to give it to 10. Very tasty beer for a 13.3%. This is a very well made beer. It's an awesome beer. A great final beer of the evening, and a great beer to share with your friends and family, or whoever you want to share it with. If you drink all this by yourself, you're either a pig or you don't have a lot of friends. So share it. If you get this bottle, share it with somebody. That's what I would recommend. Alright, you got my ratings. Let's go over to Beer Advocate. Beer Advocate says 92 overall. I think it's much better than a 92. I swear I do. And over to Rate Beer. Rate Beer says 99 overall, 97 in the style. I could have just as easily gave it a 99, but why? Why? Why would I want to get that? Dates on the bottle. Great beer, 13.3%. Alcohol is fairly well hidden. It's not super hidden. You're going to know you're drinking a big beer. You know you're going to drink it. If you're drinking Budweiser or Miller Coors and you pop the top on this, it's going to blow your little silly head off. It is. It really is. Unless you're used to drinking this magnitude of a beer, it is really going to put your face down in the dirt. Alright, final check-in. We'll run over to Untapped, and they have it at, and they also have the IBUs at 50 on Untapped. And they have it at 4.22%, which is in their A category. Not to their top-of-the-line beer. That's more of an A beer instead of an A-plus beer. So, I want to give it a little bit better. I'm giving you my honest opinion. I think it's an awesomely well-made beer. The alcohol is there, but it's 13.3%. Just realize that. So, I think it's a little bit better than a 4.22. So, with that being said, it's a pricey beer, though. It's a $25 bottle of beer. You got to realize that, too. So, with that being said, we're going to wrap it up on this one. If you've had this one from the Bruery, this is their mash and vanilla bourbon barrel aged beer. Let me know what you think. I loved it. Very, very tasty. Rico, thanks again, my brother. I do appreciate it, sir. Very expensive bottle, and I appreciate you spending your hard-earned money picking these bottles of beer up and trading for them, and sometimes not even tasting them and shipping them to me. You're a close friend as far as I'm concerned, and my brother from a different mother. So Rico, thanks again. You the man. Alright guys, if you've had this one from the Bruery, let me know what you think. Come on back tomorrow. Let's see what we dig out of the fridge. See you then.